Hello students, now we are going to discuss the topic testing multiple hypotheses, the F test. So what is the main query we are going to discuss for this purpose? Like we have a query here. If if a researcher wanted to determine whether a restriction that the coefficient values for the beta 2 and beta 3 are both unity could be imposed so that an increase in either one of the two variables x2 or x3 would cause y to rise by 1 unit. Before the F test, we have gone through a very uh, informative test, that is t test, and t test helps us to test the significance or insignificance of each parameter. So t-tests explain us the individual significance or insignificance of the parameters, but in case of multiple hypothesis testing, t-test framework is not sufficient to cope with this sort of hypothesis test. So for this purpose, a more general framework uh, can be used, which is known as F statistic. Okay, for applying the F statistic under the, you can say that under the F statistic framework, two regressions are required: unrestricted regression and restricted regression. Actually, the F test procedure have two type of F tests can be tested. That one is with the help of ANOVA table, and the other is with the help of restricted regression and unrestricted regression. So here we are using the restricted regression method and unrestricted regression method. So what do you mean by unrestricted regression? While talking about the unrestricted regression, you have a data of a one dependent variable and two or more independent variable, and find out the betas, and then find out the residual sum of square, and you are not imposing any type of constraint or restriction on your data or on your parameter. So this is called the unrestricted regression. So what do you mean by the restricted regression? When you are talking about the restricted regression, it is a one in which the coefficients are restricted. That is, the restriction are imposed on some betas or some data set. You can impose restriction that beta 1 or beta 2 or beta 3, beta 4, so on, or some restriction on your data set. Here we are talking about only the particular restriction which is related to your betas. The data restriction will be discussed later on in any other video. So here we are here we are making the restriction on the betas. Thus the F test approaches to the hypothesis testing is also termed restricted least square for the obvious reason. Okay, our main for every type of regression, either you are dealing with a simple regression, either you are dealing with a multiple regression, our main aim is is to determine, is to minimize the residual sum of square. So here when you have a restricted regression equation, and when you have unrestricted regression equation, so oh, with these two regression lines, you have to make the residual sum of square minimized. Okay, see here, the residual sum of square from each regression are determined, and the two residual sum of squares are compared in in test statistics. So for this purpose, the F statistic formula for the multiple hypothesis is that F statistic test statistic is equal to RRSS minus URSS divided by URSS multiplied by T minus K divided by M. Here RRSS restricted residual sum of square minus unrestricted residual sum of square divided by unrestricted residual sum of square multiplied by t minus k. Here t number of number of observation and minus k number of parameter you are using in your regression line. Here m number of restriction you have imposed, one restriction, two restriction, three restriction, and so on. What the number of restriction you are imposing in on your parameters. Okay, this test center around a comparison of residual sum of square from restricted and unrestricted regressions. So basic aim of any type of regression, as we have already discussed, that OLS aim to minimize residual sum of square with no constraint, or with even in the presence of of constraint as well. Okay, after imposing constraint or restriction, if a restricted residual sum of square is not much higher than the unrestricted residual sum of square, it would be concluded that that restrictions are supported by the data. And if restricted residual sum of square is much higher than the unrestricted residual sum of square, it would be concluded that the restrictions were not supported by the data, and therefore the hypothesis should be rejected. So for this purpose, restricted residual sum of square is greater than or equal than unrestricted residual sum of square. Under a particular set of very extreme condition, both restricted residual sum of square and unrestricted residual sum of square would be equal. But this is very extreme situation. Okay, how this can be possible? This would be the case when the restriction were already present in the data and you are applying another restriction. So in this case, your restricted and your unrestricted residual sum of square will be equal, so that it is not really a restriction at all, because you have already applied a restriction and then you are imposing a restriction on your betas. So the second restriction will waive the first restriction as well. So it is not really a restriction at all. So here we have a null hypothesis for for this purpose, like if this condition is existed, that at h naught null beta 2 is equal to 0, beta 2 is equal to 1, and beta 3 is equal to 1. And in the case of restricted residual sum of square is equal to unrestricted residual sum of square. So in this case, our actual beta 2 or beta 3 will be equal to our estimated beta 2 and beta 3. So in real life, in real cases, it is a very rare case to estimate that betas and actual betas, estimated betas and our actual betas are equal to each other, and then our restricted residual sum of square and our unrestricted residual sum of square will be equal. So it is a very rare case in practical life. So here we have we have a regression line here, that yt is equal to beta 1 for the it is using for the example point of view. Here we have a beta yt is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2t plus beta 3 x3t plus beta 4 x4t plus ut. Okay, from this multiple regression line we have to estimate RSS, residual sum of square, which should be minimized as we have done in simple regression and multiple regression case at the same time with two independent variables. But here we have 1, 2 and 3 independent variable, including a constant and term here. Okay, now for making the residual sum of square summation u hat square, we have to estimate beta 1 hat, beta 2 hat, beta 3 hat and beta 4 hat. So for for getting beta 1, 2, 3 and 4 hat, you have to use the formulas for these 4 betas, and we have given these formulas in our previous session, the multiple regression session. Okay, and we get after estimating the betas, we get y hat t is equal to beta 1 hat plus beta 2 hat x2t plus beta 3 hat x3t plus beta 4 hat x4t. Okay, from this from this estimated regression line, we can find yt is equal to yt minus yt hat, and if we can call it residual sum of square, that RSS is equal to summation ut is equal to into yt minus yt hat square. It should be minimum. Following the assumption of the OLS, it should be minimum. Now keep one thing in mind, that residual sum of square which we have calculated here is also known as unrestricted residual sum of square, especially when we are using f-test procedure. If we are not using f-test procedure, then we can write it RSS. So simply this is called the unrestricted residual sum of square. But when you are using a f-test procedure, then you have to write it in this form, URSS. It is unrestricted residual sum of square. Okay, now we put put some restriction on the above regression line, which we have this regression line here. Okay, we can rewrite this regression line, but here we are removing or dropping the subscript for the simplicity. Okay, we have a yt is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta 3 x3 plus beta 4 x4 plus u. Okay, we have removed the subscript here. Okay, we put restriction here, beta 3 and beta 4 is equal to 1. Now rewrite the restriction line, restriction regression line. Okay, we can write it in this form, that y is equal to beta 1 beta 2 plus beta 1 beta x2 plus beta 3 x3 plus beta 4 x4 plus ut. Okay, subject to the restriction, beta 3 plus beta 4 is equal to 1. Now let beta 3 plus beta 4 is equal to 1. Now we can solve it for beta 3 or beta 4. You can use any parameter, or beta 1 or beta 3 or beta 4. Okay, here we are using for the beta 4, we get the value of beta 4, so beta 3 will be minus on the other side of the equal sign. Okay, put the value of beta 4 in the restricted equation. This is our restricted equation. So put the value of beta 4 in in place of beta 4 in the restricted line, and then we can after solving this, we get y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta 3 x3 plus x4 minus beta 3 x4 plus u. So after solving this, we get y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta 3 is the common between these, and x3 minus x4 plus x4 plus u. Okay, here subtract x minus 4 from both sides of the equation, and we get y minus x4 is equal to is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2 2 plus beta 3 into x3 minus x4 plus u, because this x4 is removed by minus x4. Okay, we get this equation, and here we have we suppose that y minus x4 is equal to p, and x3, this is the x3 minus x4 is equal to q, and we get p is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta 3 q plus u. Here we have a dependent variable in the form of p, which is the combination of y minus x4. So we name it in as a p, and here we have a new independent variable q, which is the combination of x3 minus x4. So we name it q. Okay, now we regress this regression line and find the residual sum of square. For this we get to, and from this regression line, this is our restricted regression line, and from this regression line we have to estimate beta 1 hat, beta 2 hat, and beta 3 hat. And after after finding the estimated betas, we get p hat is equal to beta 1 hat plus beta 2 hat x2 plus beta 3 hat q. From this estimated regression line we can find error u is equal to p minus p hat, then RSS is equal to u square is equal to p minus p hat square. This should be minimized. Okay, this residual sum of square is known as RRSS, restricted residual sum of square, because we have put a restriction on our betas. So after that we get a restricted residual sum of square. Okay, here some students feel a confusion. So for the removal of the confusion, we have a practical example overview. Like we have a variable y, dependent variable y and independent variable x2, x3 and x4, and with the help of x2, 3 and 4 independent variable we get error term, because here we have a actual minus estimated and we get u, and after taking this care of error we get residual sum of square, and this is known as the unrestricted residual sum of square, because here we don't put any type of restriction. So this is our first regression line which we have used here on page number 3. Okay, now putting a restriction, we have this regression line y minus x4 is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta 3 into x3 minus x4 plus u. So here after putting the restriction we have y minus x4. So this shows that you have to minus y from x4 and get a new series and name this series as a p, and x2 will remain same as it is. And here we have a q also, and q shows that x3 minus x4. So we have to minus x3 minus x4, and we get a new series and we name this new series with q. So here we have one dependent variable p and one independent variable x2 and the other independent variable q. So with the help of one dependent and two independent variable we get the error term, and the error term formula will be u is equal to p minus p hat, and after taking the square root of this we get restricted residual sum of square, because we have put some restriction on estimated on our this regression line, this regression line. Okay, we are moving towards the degree of freedom in f-test. Okay, in f-test there are 2 degree of freedom are used. For 2 degree of freedom parameters are used for the F test. That the value of degree of freedom for the parameter, the F test, are M. The first degree of freedom is M. The number of restriction imposed on the model. In the F test, statistic, we have the formula for the RRSS minus U URSS divided by URSS. So multiply by M. So M is also a degree of freedom, but here we are giving its interpretation as number of restriction imposed in a model. So K minus T minus K, the number of observation less than number of regression for the unrestricted regression. So this is our pure degree of freedom, where we have number of observation minus number of parameters, and we call it a degree of freedom for unrestricted regression line. Okay, here the relationship between the T and the F distribution. So any hypothesis that could be tested with a T test could also have been tested by using F test, but not the other way around. You can't use F test and then T must be used. So if you are testing the T test, then you can use the F test. So single hypothesis involving one coefficient can be tested using a T or F test, but multiple hypotheses can be tested only using an F test. Okay, the two tests give the same conclusion, since T test is just a special case of F test, because T test give us a single hypothesis case, but F test gives us a multiple hypothesis case. Okay, determining the number of restriction M. So this is more important, that how can we determine the number of restriction in any regression line. Normally the number of restriction can be seen as the number of equality sign under the null hypothesis. So whenever you are using a number of equal sign in front of null hypothesis, so this reveals that these are your number of restrictions imposed in a regression line. So if you have a beta 1 plus beta 2 is equal to 2, so this reveals that there is a one restriction in the model. So if you have a null hypothesis that beta 2 is equal to 1 and beta 3 is equal to minus 1, then there are two restrictions in the case of null hypothesis. Okay, here if we have a beta 2 is equal to 0, beta 3 is equal to 0, and beta 4 is equal to 0, then we can call it a 3 restriction, because here 3 equal sign are used in front of H naught. So how many you use the equal sign in front of the null hypothesis, technically called the number of restriction. So number of restriction in first case is and second case 2, and in third case in 3. So we have a regression line y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta 3 x3 plus beta 4 x4. So we have to impose a restriction here. H naught is equal to H naught beta 2 is equal to 0, and beta 3 is equal to 0, and beta 4 is equal to 0. So alternative hypothesis for this case is beta 2 is not is equal to 0, beta 3 is not is equal to 0, and beta 4 is not is equal to 0. So keep it in mind that you cannot use either we have a 0 for every equivalency sign here, but you cannot use a single equal sign for all the parameters, because this will reduce your restrictions. So you have to write it in a separate form in multiple case. Okay, here null hypothesis explain that all of the coefficient except the intercept coefficient are 0. This test is sometimes called a test of junk regression. So after sometime some authors or some researcher call it a junk regression test. Okay, since if if this null hypothesis can't be rejected, it would imply that none of the independent variable in the model was able to explain variation in y or in the dependent variable. Okay, hypothesis that cannot be tested with either f-test or t-test. It is not possible to test hypotheses that are not linear or that are multiplicative using this framework. For example, if you have a null hypothesis like beta 2, beta 3 is equal to 2, or beta or h naught or beta 2 square is equal to 1, or h naught beta 2, beta 3, beta 4 is equal to 0, and h naught beta 4 is equal to beta 4 square is equal to 1. So this these type of hypothesis cannot be tested with the help of t-test or with the help of f-test. For this type of framework, you have to use other tests which will be discussed in any other later session. Okay, for the solution of f-test or practical solution of the f-test, we have an example here. Suppose that a researcher want to test whether the return on a company stock y shows unit sensitivity to two factors among three considered. The regression is called out on 144 monthly observations. So here we have a regression line y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta 3 x3 plus beta 4 x4 plus u, and this is the same example which is given in the Brooks book, Introduction to Financial Econometrics, page number 143. Here I have mentioned the page for the Brooks book. Okay, now we have to find it what are the restricted and unrestricted regression here in this regression line. What do you mean by the restricted and unrestricted regression? If the two RSS are 436.1 and 397.2 respectively, perform the test. So start from the first. Unit sensitivity to factor x2 and x3 implies the restriction that the coefficient on these two variables should be unity. So our null hypothesis is h naught beta 2 is equal to 1 and beta 3 is equal to 1. So our its alternative hypothesis is h1 beta 2 is not is equal to 1 and beta 3 is not equal to 1. To drive the restricted regression, first impose the restriction. We have imposed the restriction on this regression line that y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 x2 plus beta 3 x3 plus beta 4 x4 plus u. So here are subject to restriction. Here beta 2 is equal to 1 and beta 3 is equal to 1. So replacing beta 2 and beta 3 values in this regression line, and we get y is equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 plus x2 plus x3 plus beta 4 x4 plus u. So without slope, these variables are subtracted from dependent variables. Now we have y minus x2 minus x3 is equal to beta 1 plus beta 4 x4 plus u. Okay, now this shows that you have to subtract x2 and x3 at the same time from the y series and then name this series with a new variable z. So here we have a dependent variable z is equal to beta 1 plus beta 4 x4 plus u. Here we have one independent variable x4, and z is the combination of y, x2 and x3. Okay, from this you have to calculate the f statistic, that is RRSS, restricted residual sum of square minus unrestricted residual sum of square divided by unrestricted residual sum of square multiplied by t minus k divided by m. Here we have t is equal to 144 and k number of parameters is equal to 4, and m we have imposed a 2 restriction here, beta 2 and beta 3. So here we have m is equal to, and restricted residual is given as it is here 436.1, and unrestricted residual sum of square is 397.2. So put these values in this formula and we get our calculated f is equal to 6.86. Okay. The statistic should be compared to tabulated f test, that f into m t minus k. So this is the these are the two degree of freedom, m number of restriction, and here number of observation minus number of parameters. So this reveals that f into 2 number of restriction, m2 and t minus 4. Here you can see that t is equal to 144 and restriction are 4. So here we have a 2 4. So after viewing the f from the table, the critical values are 4.07 at 5%. If you are using a 5% level of significance, then the tabulated or critical value comes which is 4.07, and if you are using a 1% level of significance, the tabulated f statistic will come 4.79. So you can see that these are tabulated values and this is our calculated f statistic. So we can conclude here the calculated f statistic is greater than tabulated f or critical f, and hence the null hypothesis is rejected. So on these finding we can say that it would be concluded that restriction is not supported by the data, and if we accept the null hypothesis, then restrictions are supported by the data, as we have given the interpretation of this in the previous session. So see here, when you are talking about see here, null hypothesis explains that all of the coefficient except the intercept coefficient are 0. This test is sometimes called a test for the Young regression, since if the null hypothesis can't be rejected, it would be that none of the independent variable in the model was able to explain the variation in y. But here we have null hypothesis. Okay, see, this is our null hypothesis. This beta 2 is equal to 1 and beta 3 is equal to 1. So this is a different case from the previous example where beta 2 and beta 2 is equal to 0 and beta 3 is equal to 0, but here these are equal to 1. Okay, so so on the basis of null hypothesis, it is concluded that the restriction which we have implied here is not supported by the data. Okay, see you with another interesting video.